Good morning, everybody. It's the Truth Serum, back at it. I just did the video about when will we become what God wants us to be. I just did that. But on a more evil note, see, you get it all here on the Truth Serum. You know, I try to do some spiritual stuff on Sunday. I'm going to do more content. Try to get JC in the mix, but because. And now here's the evil aspect. This killer from near Knoxville, Tennessee, college student, had these tapes, and he was always recording all these things. He's a complete psychopath, and he was just so pissed off that people, were boyfriend and girlfriends because he couldn't get a girl. He couldn't get a girlfriend or a date, and it just freaked his mind out, and he despised anybody in love, and then he despised men and women. He despised women because they didn't want to go out with him because he was just acting weird, so he couldn't get a date. So he recorded all of his things right up to the killing. Rampage, 6 dead, 14 injured. So let's check this guy out.
There's me. In all my fabulousness. I am so awesome.
It's blurry.
Hello? 34. Okay, that's all.
See guys like this. Right now. Not guys like those. Those guys were ugly as fuck, but I would stop at nothing to reduce every single one of you. I've been doing a lot of thinking about how sad and unfair my life has been. All because girls haven't been attracted to me.
He's gone.
The man you're looking at is 22-year-old YouTuber Elliot Roger. This video is one of many he recorded lamenting his obsession with his love life, or lack thereof. Although his growing anger went ignored, there were countless other red flags throughout Elliot's life that he was plotting something horrific. But no one could have ever predicted just how disturbing his true thoughts were.
Well, this is my last video.
Or how far he would go to seek his retribution.
Tomorrow is the day of retribution.
But if you think you knew just how disturbing his thoughts were, think again. Through since-removed homemade videos, many that have never been seen before, you'll soon learn the rabbit hole goes deeper than you think.
Guys like this.
In the infamous case of Elliot Roger.
All right.
911,
Now, you're looking at this guy and what he's saying, but he doesn't look like such a bad-looking guy. I mean, he doesn't look like a guy that should have trouble getting dates. I mean, he's not homely. He's from a very wealthy family. He's very privileged, and his parents give him everything he wants. He bounced around from college to college because he didn't feel liked or couldn't get a girlfriend at these other colleges. So he kept moving on, and that despise and anger was growing with him right up to the end. So, and he's just so pissed off that he can't get a girl. He's still a virgin.
Yeah, that's an emergency. I need that, please. Your guy thinks somebody else is on the line. Okay. I don't know what just happened. Okay. Were you injured? Were you injured? Okay, where are you? Somebody else is. We're at IV Deli and I'll just... Okay, you're at IV Deli and somebody shot? Yeah. Okay.
The frantic 911 call you just heard was made after someone witnessed a terrifying encounter at a local restaurant in Santa Barbara, California. Minutes before, the well-known eatery was filled with hungry college students set on having a late-night snack. But unbeknownst to the customers, a vicious and diabolical killer was heading their way, who would soon haunt the vulnerable college town.
There he is.
Hey, Elliot Roger here. Just took a nice walk in the park. Check out that sunset. Today I'm at the golf course. Though I don't actually play golf, I only come here to admire the whole beauty and serenity of the place. And it's one of the few places where I can come and truly have a sense of escape. It's my place of refuge. The sunlight's about to fade, so I'll end this video soon. Yeah. Childhood.
What the heck?
It all has to come to this. I'm 22 years old, and I'm still a virgin. I've never even kissed a girl.
Geez, I wonder why.
You forced me to suffer all my life, and now I'll make you all suffer. I've waited a long time for this. I'll give you exactly what you deserve, all of you. All you girls who rejected me and looked down upon me, and all of you men for living a better life than me, all of you sexually active men. I hate you. I hate all of you. I can't wait to give you exactly what you deserve.
To truly understand how he came to commit such an atrocity, we have to start at the beginning. Before moving to America, the Rogers lived a simple life in London, and they embarked on thrilling trips around the world. Elliot recalled his childhood as memories of happiness and bliss, recollections that would soon be overshadowed by anger and indignation. He enjoyed activities typical that of a young boy: skateboarding, video games, playing outside, and reading. So how did this seemingly normal kid transform into a vicious mass murderer?
Elliot Roger here. And here I am at Serrania Park, the most significant place of my childhood. I wish I could be a kid again. Those were the happy years, and I could just live my life without realizing how cruel the world really is.
According to Leach and Roger, Elliot's mother, Elliot was a withdrawn and shy child growing up who enjoyed hanging out with his friends and family.
My mom just ordered me the book I've been waiting for so long. This is so awesome. I'm gonna read it now.
He would often write down what he wished to say, rather than speaking aloud, possibly indicating that Elliot had developed social anxiety from an early age.
Yeah.
After moving to America at the age of 5, Elliot's parents enrolled him in a private school where he made his first friend in the States, a young girl in the same class. Looking back, it was very ironic that his first friend after the move was a girl, considering that she would quickly become everything that Elliot despised.
My parents used to always take me here when I was a kid. Back when my life was happy and fair. Back when I thought the world was fair. How naive I was. I was only an innocent child.
Although Elliot would come to hate many people, his love for his family would remain. However, a few months after Elliot's 7th birthday, he was saddened to hear that his parents would be getting a divorce. Following the split, Peter Roger, Elliot's father, introduced Elliot to a woman named Sumaya, his soon-to-be stepmother. Although Elliot thought it was very sudden that his father had found a new girlfriend, Elliot admired him for acquiring a fresh relationship as quickly as he did. This is when Elliot's mindset switched. He came to believe that being attractive meant you would achieve more in life, something he would continue to believe for the rest of his life. At the age of 9, Elliot developed strong feelings of jealousy and envy. He would become angry if one of his friends played with someone else, and did not like the idea of sharing. Although this can be typical of young children, these intense emotions would eventually dictate Elliot's state of being for the remainder of his life.
This is my usual sunset spot, mainly because there's rarely any young couples here that I would get jealous of.
He craved attention and thought that if he dressed in fashionable clothes and bleached his hair, that his status in the so-called hierarchy would ascend. But as time went on, Elliot found himself to be an outcast.
I've been cast out. No one likes me. No one accepts me. All my life I've been struggling to fit in with the popular kids. I've been struggling to get a girlfriend. No one No one has ever accepted me.
In an attempt to help the young child, Elliot's parents began taking him to psychiatrists. These visits became routine throughout Elliot's life, but unfortunately, no one was able to prevent the horrific events to come.
Hey, Elliot Roger here. I'm sitting in my car, making another entry in my collection of vlogs. Ever since I hit puberty, I've wanted girls. I've desired girls. I've been sexually attracted to girls. But they've never shown any attraction back to me.
Elliot stated that his joyful existence came to a halt during his ascendance into puberty, in which he claimed to have begun his prolonged vendetta against the female species. Identifying as the invisible kid in school, Elliot began acting out to gain attention, to which he undoubtedly succeeded. He was teased by his fellow classmates, and remembered one girl in particular that would regularly berate Elliot with her friends. Elliot began to hate all girls because of this. Regardless, his entire existence from here on out revolved around one goal: acquiring a girlfriend. Although he possessed a strong hatred for the young classmate, he believed that having a girlfriend would make him happy. But as he grew older, the promise of accomplishing such a task seemed to become almost impossible. Elliot went on to use this fact as a twisted justification to commit an unthinkable crime. We cannot draw any conclusions regarding the likelihood that Elliot had a personality disorder, but his intense desire for attention is a key feature of narcissistic personality disorder.
You denied me a happy life. You deprived me of and I will take great pleasure in denying you life. It's only fair.
Psychopath.
Elliot became depressed into his teen years due to the fact that he transferred through multiple schools and was continually bullied at each one. Not long after, his parents resorted to homeschool. His social anxiety worsened, and he was prescribed Xanax and Prozac, but stopped taking them after a year. It came to a point that at the age of 16, he broke down at a family friend's dinner and confessed that he wished to commit. This was due to the fact that one of the girls at the dinner had invited her cool friends, as Elliot referred to them. He was unable to cope with the thought that he was not a part of the cool kid group. Additionally, he grew upset about the lack of attention from girls that he desired, and felt disgusted when he would see others in relationships.
I've concluded that females have a very flawed and perverted form of sexual attraction.
After high school, Elliot attended Pierce Community College, where his behavior became increasingly aggressive. Remaining an outcast, he was supposedly attacked by fellow students, including an incident where 4 young men threw eggs at him while Elliot was walking back to his mother's house. Elliot retaliated by throwing an egg at their car, causing the men to initiate a fight. He was armed with a knife and brandished it to scare the boys off. After this incident, he felt powerful and would soon invoke similar acts. Elliot maintained a few friends throughout his college experience, but his extreme views on women and the world had put a strain on their relationship. Elliot felt even more slighted by this. He eventually dropped out of Pierce and enrolled at Moore Park, but then transferred to Santa Barbara City College, where he studied history and geography, although his focus remained on his anger towards other people.
This world, it's so twisted. It's so cruel. And you girls make it cruel.
While attending Santa Barbara City College, Elliot moved into an apartment in Isla Vista and soon began exploring his new surroundings. He would frequent the local Starbucks, where inevitably he often witnessed couples waiting in line. On one occasion, he supposedly became so infuriated at a specific couple that he followed them out of the establishment before splashing them with hot coffee.
Wow.
He apparently did the same to 2 girls on a separate occasion that didn't show him the attention he thought he deserved. Elliot felt triumph.
He was so twisted and demented that he's in a Starbucks coffee shop and he sees couples enjoying each other and he can't accept it. He's thinking, why can't I have a partner here with me having a cup of coffee? He douses them with hot coffee. This is the beginning of the end of what is coming up.
But after his unprovoked attacks, and quickly realized that he was capable of doing much more.
I'm so angry right now. I was enjoying a peaceful time at this beach park.
There's a couple.
One comes to sit in front of me. A young couple, a guy with his hot girlfriend. I mean, who do they think they are? Coming here, sitting in front of me to make me feel jealous? This is the reason why I hate the world. This is getting too out of hand. I can't go anywhere anymore without seeing these young couples getting jealous and, having them remind me of what I'm lacking in life.
Narcissistic people are extremely hypersensitive to criticism and rejection, and can become angry, spiteful, and violent towards anyone whom they perceive as mistreating them, or not giving them the special treatment they feel they deserve. This is not only due to the narcissist's fragile self-esteem, but also because they feel they are special and unique, and should therefore be accepted, welcomed, and admired by all those they interact with. Undeniably, this seemed to be the case for young Elliot. He was still very intent on having a girlfriend, and thought that becoming rich would make him more attractive to girls. Using the monthly allowance from his parents, he spent this on high-end clothes, including brands such as Armani and Hugo Boss.
Right now I'm wearing my Hugo Boss shirt. It's one of my favorite button-down shirts.
You see, you would think he's got the access. The parents are rich. They're giving him what he wants. He ain't a bad-looking guy. How does this go wrong? When he talks to the girls, they just can sense some craziness, some psychopathy. I mean, why can't this guy get a date? Because of these inner demons, and his mind is twisted, and he's running around looking at couples, having fun, and it's just feeding on itself. He never comes to his senses and just figures out what he's doing wrong. There's someone for everyone in the dating world, and he more or less has an advantage on Joe Schmo. That he can offer a girl, you want to go on a date to a high exclusive pricey restaurant, or you want to go on pricey dates. He actually has an advantage, but he's in his mind, he's just thinking he's operating on such a deficit, and he can't see his own faults. He's just saying the whole world is wrong. I can't stand looking at these loving couples anymore.
On the red carpet on that premiere, which was quite an experience indeed.
He strived to look of extreme wealth and felt that he was superior to all other men when doing so. He even spent $700 on lottery tickets and took multiple trips to Arizona to purchase them, but failed to win. He felt hopeless about his life, and it was around this time when Elliot considered the idea of carrying out a deadly act of revenge. He deemed it the day of retribution.
It's truly a beautiful day. But, as I've always said, a beautiful environment is the darkest hell if you have to experience it all alone. And sadly, I've been alone for a very long time. I do everything I can to appear attractive to you. I dress nice. I'm sophisticated. I'm magnificent. I have a nice car, a BMW.
Mommy and Daddy.
It's nicer than 90% of the people in my college. I'm polite. I'm the ultimate gentleman. And yet, you girls, you never give me a chance. I don't know why.
Scary.
I put a lot of effort into dressing nice. These sunglasses here were $300. Giorgio Armani. So I'll put them on. See? I'm the guy you should be going for, not those obnoxious slobs you love so much. I don't know why you're not attracted to me. I don't know what you don't see in me.
Jeez, I don't know why.
But I'll make sure you all pay for it.
Elliot's speech and mannerisms are similar to that of individuals with developmental delays, specifically autism spectrum disorder. The dialect can be recognized as monotone and flat, but in some cases it can be exaggerated with the use of very formal vocabulary, as is the case with Elliot.
You've deprived me of love and affection all my life. And that's a declaration of war. If it's war you want, then war you shall have.
Adults with autism spectrum disorder sometimes speak and behave in a manner that mimics a favorite TV or movie character. Elliot seemed to have been doing this as he appeared to be impersonating the words and facial expressions of an evil villain. It would later be confirmed that Elliot was diagnosed with Asperger's disorder, which is now known as autism spectrum disorder. But in no way does this correlate with his actions.
I'm going to show you all a short little tour of this college town called Isla Vista.
Okay, now
Every time
now he's going to go around his college and he's going to check out the loving couples, and he's just going to trip out on it more and more. He's just ruining himself, putting himself through all this. And he's, look at here, look at there.
drive through this place, I am overcome with rage. Here it is. I'm approaching a street called Del Playa. So many beautiful girls walking around here. They would never give me a chance. See, look at that one. I just passed one. Here we go. Look at this. Groups of hot young sluts who would just reject me. And look at these douchebags right here. These assholes, these obnoxious little slobs. Those are the kind of guys that girls like instead of magnificent gentlemen like myself. Hold on, let me check if I'm getting some good footage. Am I?
To fuel his rage, he would also scour the streets of Isla Vista at night, hoping to find couples and beautiful young women to chastise from his car.
You're an asshole.
This further indicates Elliot's sense of grandiosity, as he likely felt a surge of confidence while stating the insults. It's noteworthy that he makes these comments from the safety of his car, rather than confronting the ongoers face to face.
So
giving him
he's driving through this street and he's hollering out to the couples, "You're terrible. You're sickening." And he's hollering. I heard the one say, "Get a life."
the feeling that he had the upper hand.
Here I am, Elliot Roger. Beautiful, magnificent gentleman. Though the girls around this town don't see it. This world does not make sense.
This revulsion for people in relationships compelled Elliot to share his thoughts in online forums, one of them being bodybuilding.com, where he writes, "It's been my life's struggle to get a beautiful white girl." Along with this, authorities located several other posts written by Elliot that continue to expound his fury for women, such as "women don't deserve rights," and "they are evil, sadistic beasts who whore themselves out to degenerate men and ignore the men who actually deserve them." There were about 28 pages filled with similar rhetoric,
Damn.
each post more hostile than the last.
It's building.
Look, that's the house I got beat up at when I walked in on a party. It was about almost a year ago now.
The beating that Elliot referred to happened during the summer of 2013. While at a house party, Elliot was jumped by a group of college kids before being pushed off of a 10-foot balcony. He stated that they were trying to hurt him without reason, but the truth was later revealed that Elliot had attempted to shove multiple girls off of the balcony after making gestures to imitate shooting a gun towards the partygoers. A group of young men intervened, and of course, Elliot lied about what happened to his family and the police. Once again, he was furious that the girls didn't take an interest to him and violently retaliated. The violent party event would be Elliot's last straw.
See guys like this. Right now, not guys like those. Those guys were ugly as fuck, but see, look here. A house party. Beautiful girls talking with their frat boys. I hate them all. They think they're better than me. They'll never accept me as one of them. Those girls would never go for me.
During the later months of 2013, Elliot received 2 new roommates, students at UCSB, who he greatly disliked. Their arguments seemed to be a daily occurrence, and Elliot even reported one of the young men to the local authorities for stealing his candles.
Wow.
The 2 friends found Elliot to be strange and obnoxious, and planned to report him to their complex manager. The tension would continuously rise, but unfortunately, the pair would have...
Can you imagine you're 17, 18, 19 years old and you go off to college and this guy ends up being your roommate? And you could just hear how he talks, and would you sense something diabolical, or you just think, it's just a new kid growing pains away from mommy and daddy, and he's just going a little crazy? Let's see what happens.
Eventually meet a cold and cruel fate.
The girls are not attracted to me. There's a major problem with that. A major problem. That's a problem that I intend to rectify.
In preparation for the unforgettable day, it was discovered that Elliot read books on mass murderers and serial killers at the library, but would never actually take the literature home.
I will not let this fly. It's an injustice that needs to be dealt with.
He would also research various torture equipment, such as Spanish Inquisition torture devices, but it was later revealed in a recovered document just how far he was willing to go to attain his satisfaction. Following Elliot's chilling preparation, the day had finally come for the twisted mind to take his revenge.
Well, this is my last video. It all has to come to this. Tomorrow is the day of retribution. The day in which I will have my revenge against humanity.
Wow.
Against all of you. Well, this is it. This is my last video.
Jeez.
It all has to come to this. Tomorrow is the day of retribution.
It's evident here that Elliot is bordering on delusion with this bizarre performance. It's possible that his off-putting personality, so to say, is exactly what ostracized him from his peers. But Elliot's vindictive persona would propel him to organize a horrific attack. Before his day of retribution, it was discovered that Elliot had sent a disturbing email to his parents, therapists, and acquaintances entitled My Twisted World. This would later be known as Elliot's Manifesto, where he detailed his anger and frustrations toward the world, specifically women. Not only that, but the killer also went into chilling detail about what he really had planned for the vulnerable town of Isla Vista.
Minutes ago, I finally checked my email. I saw this letter. It's from Elliot Roger, who's a Santa Barbara City College student. It's 141 pages. So when you get to the end, which is going to immediately page 134, it's a very detailed attack they plan on taking in Isla Vista, including shooting people and driving in a car to intentionally run over pedestrians and then shoot themselves.
You girls have never been attracted to me. I don't know why you girls aren't attracted to me, but I will punish you all for it. It's an injustice, a crime, because I don't know what you don't see in me. I'm the perfect guy. And yet you throw yourselves at all these obnoxious men instead of me, the supreme gentleman. I will punish all of you for it.
Elliot's maniacal laugh almost sounds forced, like he's an actor playing a part, and his smile is likely feigned.
Think about this. What if he was actually able to get a date, and some girl gave him a chance and he was actually able to get a date, and then can you imagine if she said something the wrong way, or maybe she could have saved him and gave him confidence, but this psychopathy and these delusions, I don't think anybody could have helped him, because he would have figured out a way to deem her unworthy or crazy or as one of them. So he probably couldn't even be able to handle the least bit of constructive criticism at all.
Fake smiles are one of the most common nonverbal lies in body language, and only includes the mouth compared to genuine smiles, which involve most of the face.
Mario.
Elliot also wrote that he planned to kill his younger half-brother Jazz and stepmother Sumaya. He accredited this decision to his hatred for how Sumaya would supposedly mistreat him, and even though he mentioned that he and his half-brother had grown closer over the previous year, he could not bear the thought of having someone else live the life that he wanted.
What are you doing, Jazz?
Elliot wrote that Sumaya would allegedly chastise him, saying that Jazz would go on to become a successful actor. He'd have lots of friends, whereas Elliot would not.
I'll be a god,
Jeez.
exacting my retribution, and all those who deserve it. And you do deserve it, just for the crime of living a better life than me.
Wow.
All you popular kids, you've never accepted me. All I've ever wanted was to love you and to be loved by you.
Wow.
I've wanted a girlfriend. I've wanted sex. I've wanted love, affection, adoration. You think I'm unworthy of it? That's a crime that can never be forgiven.
Wow.
These thoughts are indicative of severe antisocial personality disorder. Based on the contents of the email, his desire for revenge and his willingness to harm others in such a callous and vicious manner indicates a complete lack of empathy and poor moral
Now you look at him. I'll
conscience.
say it again. I'm not funny or anything, but you know, he's not ugly. Jojo, I remember this cat was twisted, Mario. But you know, so his personality and how he approached these girls must have just been real whacked out, because there's somebody for everybody. No matter what you look like or your weight, skinny, fat, thin, pretty, ugly, whatever. There's somebody for everyone. So this guy had an advantage on money, cars, money. He could go on expensive dates. Ain't bad looking. I mean, but that mind of his just.
It was never expected that he would take his anger so far. Next, it would be uncovered that the original day of Elliot's retribution was previously set for April 26, 2014. This was due to the fact that he knew of his father's scheduled business trip, which guaranteed his absence. Elliot was sure he would be able to successfully complete the murders of his stepmom and stepbrother without worrying if he would have to kill his father. But 2 days before his arranged day of carnage, Elliot fell ill with a cold, and his dad arrived home from his trip earlier than expected.
Wow.
It seemed in Elliot's murderous mind that it wasn't of the right timing to commit his so-called revenge, as he so desperately wanted things to be perfect. He would then reset the date for May 24th, almost a month later, but instead, for an unverified reason, the horrifying incident would occur the night prior.
Wow.
Perhaps suggesting that Elliot assumed his retribution would last into the early morning hours.
And in turn, I will deny all of you life.
I know they can't get a
It's
girl.
only fair.
Jeez.
I hate all of you. Humanity is a disgusting, wretched.
You see a lot of these
sweet-
psychopathic killers, and like they can't get a girl, but like look at Ted Bundy. He was attractive and handsome, and he lured the girls in. He got them and killed them. This guy it could have the looks and play it off, but he didn't have the game. He didn't have the game. They could just sense a creep. they just sensed a creep. So it's like, and he's tripping out. He's believing that he's all this grandiose. He has all this grandiose thinking. And look how handsome I am. Expensive glasses, wardrobe, BMW. I got a $2,000 a month allowance. What's wrong with the world? How come I'm not accepted? How come they laugh at me? How come the girls won't kiss me? I can't get a date. He's still a virgin. And it's building and building and building to his day of retribution, he calls it.
While unaware that his future plans would be unexpectedly put on hold, Elliot released multiple YouTube videos 1 week prior to April 26, 2014, showcasing his frustrations with life. However, he wouldn't release his final video until the day of the shooting, which puts into detail just exactly what he intended to do. Although he does not speak of his set plan in the initial videos, it goes to show how his enraged mindset grew with each day.
Native's new fall escape collection keeps you smelling good.
What day? He got a commercial?
Keeps you feeling and
You
smelling
communist.
72-hour odor protection.
Where'd that
It's
come
not sticky,
from?
It feels dry when applying. This is great to have
Well,
in the fall season.
Here we go.
If you think the spy balloons, chemical spills, wildfires, and the current surge of people crossing our borders was bad,
Show how his enraged mindset grew with each day.
Oh, check it out. There's me. All my fabulousness.
Fabulousness.
Oh, yeah.
Rico
Elliot
Suave.
Roger.
Rico Suave. Never been kissed and never been
I'm
missed.
so awesome.
Never
When
been.
Elliot made these videos, he likely didn't imagine where they might end up. In the last place, someone with a fragile ego would want them. Reddit. A participant located some of Elliot's videos, which many of the users described as disturbing and unpleasant to watch. One of them being a student at UCSB, who would then go on to confirm the deadly event to their fellow online peers. Many of the comments regarded Elliot's awkward mannerisms, some even predicting that he would go on to commit a terrible act. But others would shockingly side with Elliot, expressing their synonymous feelings of loneliness. Some of the accounts wished that they had warned police when they initially viewed the troubling content, but it was later revealed that the authorities had a chance to prevent the attack well before the memorable day.
This world. It's so twisted. It's so cruel. And you girls make it cruel. You girls have starved me of peace and enjoyment and pleasure for my entire youth. You've taken 8 years away from my life.
They said that they thought it was going to happen, and then some of the students were like siding for him, that they agree with him, like, well, geez, yeah, well, he couldn't get a date, so go on a spree killing. Those must be the other students that couldn't get dates either. Check their papers. You better keep an eye on them.
8 years I'll never get back.
Elliot's mother came across the uncomfortable videos soon after they were posted, while researching her son's name, fearing that he may have been transported to a nearby hospital. The worried mother hadn't heard from Elliot in 3 to 4 days, and was feeling very uneasy regarding his whereabouts. After finding the alarming content, she immediately contacted mental health officials, who alerted the local authorities. Officers then began to look for Elliot, and found him in his apartment before proceeding to ask about the videos. When conducting the check, police surmised Elliot to be an extremely polite young man that did not seem to be acting in a concerning manner. The 22-year-old convinced the authorities that he was completely fine, stating that he would not hurt himself or anyone else. Compared to the bold presence Elliot portrayed.
So it became aware that he was making these disturbing videos. It got word back to his mother. She calls mental health. The police go to check on him, and he convinces them, no, I'm all right, everything. Well, what are you gonna do? You can't foresee what the guy's gonna do. What more can the police do? I mean, it's a tough spot.
He's on camera. In reality, he was very withdrawn and quiet. While the officers may have thought Elliot to be a normal resident of the college town, they never would have guessed that they were talking to a cold-blooded killer. who could have been stopped.
Yes, I'm a shy, quiet guy, but I have good qualities to myself. I'm a gentleman. I'm sophisticated. I'm polite. I have good values. And I can be fun, too, if they just give me a chance to open up. But girls never give me a chance because they're evil and cruel like that.
Although Elliot talked about his plan for the day of retribution in his most infamous video, he left out the horrific agenda that was supposed to take place one day before the actual attack. This included his idea of kidnapping, tormenting, and killing his victims within his apartment. He admitted that in order to do so, he must eliminate his two housemates so he could utilize the space for his diabolical activity.
Oh, gosh.
Next, he schemed to lure people in one by one, to which he alluded that monstrous acts would be performed. Unsurprisingly, Elliot stated that he would torture those he deemed attractive first. He detailed how he would pour boiling water on their bare skin, along with flaying, stripping, and cutting their flesh before removing their heads.
Wow.
Finally, Elliot wanted to disperse the severed body parts amongst the city streets, while simultaneously executing his bloody rampage.
You will finally see that I am, in truth, the superior one. The true alpha male.
For those that don't know, these are the boots I got on
So,
for only $7.43. There are more than one.
To begin his day of terror, Elliot attacked and killed 19-year-old George Chin, a friend of his roommates. He left his body in the fetal position, surrounded by blood-ridden paper towels in the apartment bathroom. The autopsy report would identify that George had been stabbed approximately 94 times.
Jeez.
Elliot then took out his rage on his two roommates, 20-year-olds Waihan Wong and Chen Hong. He attacked and killed them in one of the bedrooms, leaving their bodies face down with bed sheets and clothes over them. They too died from multiple stab wounds. Hours after taking the lives of his first three victims, Elliot took his evil plan to the streets of Isla Vista. It's unknown what exactly he was doing in the time between killing his roommates and when he was spotted next. He was apparently seen at approximately 4:40 in the afternoon on May 23, 2014, while boarding a local bus in Santa Barbara. Bizarrely, two young girls were also walking in front of him, visibly shaken up. They sat very close together, once in their seat, while Elliot sat directly behind them. He supposedly whispered, "Don't look back," while his hand rested in his backpack, suggesting a gun was in his possession.
Jeez.
He was apparently sharply glaring at the pair and looked very angry. The girls seemed like they were being held hostage by Elliot and possibly intimidated into getting on the bus with him. Unfortunately, it's unclear as to what may have happened to the individuals before and after this. Around 9:15 p.m., Elliot made his way to the Alpha Phi house in Isla Vista, California, where he planned to kill every girl that resided in the well-known sorority.
Jeez.
He knocked on the large wooden door for 3 minutes straight, but the tenants refused to answer. Luckily for the girls, a code was required to enter, something apparently Elliot didn't know. Although it was later discovered that he'd been stalking the sorority for quite some time.
They knew him.
His inflated sense of self-esteem may have led him to think that someone would open the door for him without question.
They knew him.
In his mind, he was an extremely attractive and well-dressed young man. Why wouldn't the girls open the door? Fortunately, the sorority sisters were able to dodge the determined Elliot, but others weren't so lucky.
I'm getting why is it we got multiple gunshot wounds on the corner of Del Norte and Segovia. Okay. Del Norte and Segovia. Unfortunately, dramatic culture and heritage. 3 down on Segovia and Del Norte and 3 in North area.
On the day of retribution, I am going to enter the hottest sorority house of UCSB.
About 30 seconds after the pounding at their front door stopped, the young women immediately heard gunshots ringing out from the nearby surroundings. When they peered out of their windows, they were horrified to see 3 young men laying along the sidewalk and grass.
Jeez.
When police responded to the scene, they found 19-year-old Veronica Wise and 22-year-old Katie Cooper deceased,
Jeez.
resulting from multiple gunshot wounds.
Gosh.
911, what is that? Is it your emergency?
We have a shooting on Embarcadero Del Norte.
Embarcadero, okay, where on Embarcadero Del Norte?
Goleta, Ala Vista.
No, I know. Where on, like, what block or what's the nearest cross street from there?
It is Segovia.
Okay.
Segovia, Embarcadero Del Norte.
Did you actually see the person shooting the gun, or did you see what it made contact with, or did you just hear it?
I saw the car.
You saw a car? Did it make contact with anybody?
Yeah.
Who?
We have 3 girls, 3 women.
They got shot?
Yes.
Both girls were part of the Tri Delta sorority at UCSB and were simply walking to their intended destinations before being viciously shot and killed by Elliot. The third gunshot victim could be heard yelling, "I'm going to die," repeatedly while speaking to her mother on the phone.
Jeez.
But it was later reported that she survived the horrific ordeal. Next, at approximately 9:27 p.m., officers responded to numerous gunshots being heard from the area of Embarcadero del Norte and Pardal Road. After arriving, police spotted a couple of local college kids standing on the corner and asked about the tumultuous sounds. The students claimed that it was merely fireworks, but the officers would soon come to understand that it was far from anything celebratory.
Humanity is a disgusting, wretched, depraved species. If I had it in my power, I would stop at nothing to reduce every single one of you to mountains of skulls and rivers of blood.
After speaking with the college kids, police noticed a black BMW parked near the Isla Vista Deli, a local diner. Seconds later, they identified a young male frantically running to the vehicle before fleeing eastbound on Pardal. Little did the officers know the man would turn out to be Elliot Roger, the prime murder suspect in this harrowing case.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
I need that, please. Your guy thinks somebody else is on the line.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
Okay, were you injured? Were you injured? Okay, where are you?
Somebody else is. We're at ID Deli in Isla Vista.
Okay, you're at ID Deli and somebody shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I understand. Okay, I'm getting help started. Do you know how many people are hurt?
I don't know.
Hello?
Yes.
34. Okay, I'll let you talk to him.
Soon the police heard screaming from inside of the deli and began making their way to the traumatized bystanders. Inside, they found a young man profusely bleeding while lying on the ground with a single gunshot wound to his chest. He would eventually be identified as 20-year-old Christopher Martinez, a student at UCSB.
Terrible.
Initially, it was reported that Christopher could be seen breathing when police first arrived, but soon one of the officers provided CPR as his breaths were no longer visible. Unfortunately, the first aid was to no avail. But Elliot's murderous rampage was far from over. Elliot continued driving around the town of Isla Vista while simultaneously shooting the civilians and hitting them with his car, where he injured multiple people.
Gosh.
During this time, numerous police officers responded. Some were forced to engage in shootouts with the killer.
I was shot at from a Skill BMW, westbound from Alabama down.
Keep your progress.
Actually, we had another gunshot. Shots fired.
The first shootout took place on Del Playa Road, where Elliot fired his weapon at one of the authorities from his BMW. Taking shelter between two parked cars, the officer was forced to shoot back in defense, but was unable to stop him. Next, Elliot traveled along Sabato Tarde Road while shooting his handgun out of his window at passing citizens. Fearing for their lives and those around, multiple officers amongst the area opened fire on the car, with only one round confirmed to have entered the vehicle. The bullet wounded Elliot on his upper left thigh, but unfortunately could not bring the ambush to a stop.
All those popular kids who live such lives of hedonistic pleasure while I've had to rot in loneliness for all these years. They've all looked down upon me every time I tried to go out and join them. They've all treated me like a mouse. Well, now I will be a god compared to you. You will all be animals. You are animals.
The horrific incident would eventually come to an end at approximately 9:35 p.m. when Elliot subsequently crashed his vehicle into the back of a parked black Jeep on Del Playa Road. Officers rushed the scene, where they found an additional victim that had been thrown off of his bike after being hit with Elliot's car. The authorities placed him in handcuffs, unsure if the person had been involved with the shooting. Quickly, they established that the individual was an innocent victim and immediately provided medical treatment for his wounds.
I am so godlike.
Nuts. Wow.
The shooting lasted a harrowing 8 minutes, but in that time, the community of Isla Vista would be drastically altered in the most sickening way. Police immediately began to investigate how someone could commit such an atrocity, and eventually found a shocking piece of information.
My name's Sean Kevin. I'm apartment manager at IV apartment. And I know something's going on in IV. I just got an email from one of the residents, and it's like really disturbing. And it's like,
Okay, there's been a shooting in IV.
No, I understand that, but I got an email from a resident, and it's like 141 pages long, and it says like the life of Elliot Roger.
Okay.
At the end, it talks about killing people.
Okay, yeah, we actually have somebody else. What's your name?
Following the shooting, police once again made their way to Elliot's apartment, where they uncovered the bodies of his roommates, Wei-Han Wong and Chen Hong, and their friend, George Chin. The horror continued to unfold as law enforcement searched Elliot's room, where they found disturbing pieces of evidence, indicating that he had been planning the attack for an extensive amount of time. This included a small sledgehammer, one 18-inch blade machete, a zombie killer fixed blade knife, a folding knife, lottery tickets, a book entitled The Art of Seduction, various handgun cases, a printout of his 137-page email, personal journals, a hand-drawn picture of a person being stabbed by multiple knives, along with several additional items. The journal looked like it had been torn apart, but the latest entry on May 23, 2014 read, "I had to tear some pages out because I feared my intentions would be discovered. I taped them back together as fast as I could. This is it. In 1 hour I will have my revenge on this cruel world. I hate you all. Die." Additionally, one of Elliot's button-up shirts and a pair of denim jeans were entangled in his bed sheets. A majority of the clothing was suffused in blood, most likely the outfit that Elliot wore while killing his roommates and their friend. Officers then noticed lengthy slashes and cuts that had been made to the bed, which suggests that Elliot may have been practicing how to use the deadly weapon before turning it on his first 3 victims. But most eerily of all, authorities discovered Elliot's computer resting atop his sheets, open with the words, "Your video has been uploaded," written across the screen.
Wow, the final.
The ominous video would come to be Elliot's final and most notorious YouTube log, detailing the chilling and unimaginable plan to enact his revenge on the people of Isla Vista, entitled Elliot Rogers' Retribution. Unfortunately, these items were found much too late, after Elliot had already carried out the truly evil act. To this day, many consider Elliot to be a glorious incel hero, but to most, he is known as a cold-blooded killer.
Hero.
Some claim that Elliot has provided them with inspiration, including the mass murderer Alec Manassian, who killed 11 people in 2018. Unfortunately, Elliot is still highly regarded as a hero to his cult following.
Wow.
Before authorities were able to ensure that Elliot faced the necessary consequences, he had completed his structured plan. Within Elliot's car, police found a 6-hour pistol, several loaded magazines, and a mix of unidentified prescription drugs. They also discovered Elliot's iPhone 4, containing 200 selfies, along with his infamous vlogs. The autopsy would later confirm that Elliot ended his life, but most would argue that the so-called incel hero took the easy way out, while so many had to endure the worst kind of suffering and pain. Within the short period of time, he would go on to injure 14 people and viciously murder 6 innocent victims.
Do you know how much misery you've caused me? I'm such a nice guy. Why won't you give me a chance?
Jeez. Yeah, what is it with these lottery tickets with this guy? Lottery tickets. These guys. So, yeah, then he was the inspiration in 2012 for that other guy that went on a spree killing. But I don't know. T-Bird and Mario, thank you for helping out in here. But, geez, I just did the other thing about a spiritual one earlier, but there's the dark side. And, man, Elliot Rogers, and he had all the advantages. He had every advantage in the world to get a girl. But this psychopathy, they just knew they didn't feel comfortable around him. The women sensed something was wrong. He couldn't get a date. He was still a virgin. And then he's riding around MFing loving couples. He was at Starbucks. He saw a loving couple. He doused them in hot coffee. How dare you be a loving couple when I can't even get a date? Wow. Yeah. Entitled mindset in California. Yeah, that's all that is. All the entitlement. Like, I deserve all this. How dare you not give me this? Or I'm going to go on a killing spree. Jeez. Whew. Lord have mercy. Yeah, and that's funny why he had $700 in lottery tickets. He can call mommy and daddy up for $10,000 on speed dial and get whatever he wants. He's got everything from a very wealthy family, and he can't get a date. Well, you can see in the video logs that he prepared of just why this mental health or what was going on. They try to say he had Asperger's and all that, you know. You could tell he was a competent thinker to lead a regular life. And then he had no. He was just evil. That's all. He was just evil. Don't backpedal. Well, yeah, they said he had, these psychiatrists, these phony no-name psychiatrists always trying to label something new and everything else. Well, we found out that he had Asperger's. Nah, watch the video, my good people, and you just find out that he's evil. He's evil. That's all there is to it. No autistic condition or a tick or nothing. No. You be the judge that are smarter than these quote-unquote psychologists and psychiatrists that are trying to make a name for themselves. And after further review, we've noticed that he had Asperger's, he had autism, he had tick. Did he look like he could function and get grades at college? He just had a behavior issue that was due to being evil. That's all. So we're pumping out the videos. T-Bird, Mario, thank you, my good people. You've been here from day one. God bless you, folks. You know me. God bless you guys. And I appreciate the support. And no matter what, we gain ground every day, but we're gaining ground. And anyway, and at the least, I enjoy you guys coming in here because I know good people come in and they're just good people. I really appreciate that. So that's that for today. Enjoy the games today, folks. And that's my last video of the day, but I'll be back pumping them out. So thanks a lot, everybody. If anybody can join the channel, support and everything, we'll go Wayne out, masculine. Go Bills. Oh, wow. No, we're chilling. We're watching sports. Wayne out, spree killing. All right. Thank you, Jesus. So, yeah, hit the like button, share, hit the notification bell, join the channel, support, and everything else. So, thank you, folks. God bless you all, and we'll get back soon. Thank you.